So you click on blank, open Access, and then click on blank desktop database. Um, so let's call that PR while yours is still loading. Call it whatever you want to call it. Judith's Arts Inventory. Call it whatever you want to call it. So far as the file name. The rest of everything else you try to name according to what the book tells you to name it. It says click, browse, navigate to the location where you want to save the files. Okay. I'm just going to hit browse, and on my desktop, I'm going to just put it there. Then create. When you create, you see something that looks like blank like this. It's going to look like an Excel spreadsheet. Does anyone not know what Access does compared to Excel? Please, hands if you don't know. Okay, so basically Access looks very much like Excel so far as how you enter data, except that Access is called something called a relational database. So Access in Excel, you can just put things in a spreadsheet and leave it like that, right? Put it all these different spreadsheets. Access, you can put things in their spreadsheets, but you can relate them to each other. And the way when you relate them to each other, you can now ask Access questions. For example, let's say you have everyone in the class, right? I say Nisi is gonna get an F, Motisola is gonna get an F, Alex is gonna, like, I'm kidding, right? You guys are gonna get A's, but you get the point. I put everyone's names and their grades. Then I want to say, ask Access, tell me everyone who got an A. Right? Then Access will run it, only push out those that have an A. So you can ask it questions, and you don't only have to ask it questions on one table, because in Excel you can filter, right? But you can ask it questions based on information that you kind of have from all these different places. For example, I have your names and I have your grades. I also have another table that has your names and where you live. I can say, tell me everyone who comes from Baltimore who got an A. You see, all the information is not contained in the same spreadsheet, but Access knows how to go through all the relationships, pull everything together, and spit it out. All right, so this is really called a relational database. That's what, if you see, like UMBC, we do the same thing for like all your records, because your social security number, that's what they use for the registrar's office, healthcare, everything. And that's how they do, because we have how many students? We have easily 10,000 students at UMBC. You can't look at the list of everyone to find information, right? You have to be able to ask questions or pull somebody up by the social security number. That's a really short spiel. I can talk about what Access is later. I hope you guys would know, but since you guys don't know, I'm kind of screwed. Well, let's get to the homework. All right, cool. So click the view button. This is the view button. So basically, oh God, this is gonna be rough. I don't feel right just telling you what to do without telling you why you're doing it. So let's just see how this goes. So somebody please open the door for Olivia, please. Okay, so this right here is the data sheet view. Data sheet is what it is. You can just enter data, right? View, the design view is, let's just call this Aquarius Arts, and I'm in step number 2. The design view is something where you design the structure of the table. All right, so in Excel, think about it like this. This is where you say, these are all the names of the columns, and these are the types of data you should expect. Remember the way we're formatting some things like as accounting? That's like a data type currency. The way you format some things as text, some things as numbers. This is where we set everything up. So it says type organization ID, press down, and then keep typing everything. This is step number 3. So this is organization ID, and hit the down arrow. Here on the data type, notice that this says auto number. When it says auto number, that means this thing is going to auto increment itself, and it's going to lock it down, meaning that you cannot change that number. This right here, that thing that looks like a key, is a primary key. It means that that's the unique identifier to each table. And a unique identifier is like your social security number. Only you have the social security number. So for every single record, they should have a unique identifier. That's one thing that is unique about Access as well. Is anybody lost already? Okay. So we said enter organization ID. Move down, enter organization name. Down arrow, email address. Down arrow. Okay, so that's it. But now it says we should now select the data types. So for email address, it wants us to select it as type hyperlink. So right here, because see, this is a data type. Click this, there's a drop down right here. Once you click on this, click on hyperlink. Alright? And then, so that's it. That's really all you have to do. And I know that sometimes you have to do that data validation. I remember we did that in 101. But I don't think you have to do that for this one. So just right click on Aquarius Arts, hit close. It's going to ask you, do you want to save it? Say yes. And it should close. It should look like blank like this with Aquarius Arts on the side here. Alright. If you open this right here, the data sheet view, you can now see that you have these names at the very top right here. This is what we just designed it. That's all we did. So close it. Step 4, click the create tab, which is the second tab. Create another table. That's what I want you to do. And to give you guys some perspective on what we're doing, this is an art gallery, right? These Aquarius Arts is going to hold all the company names. And the next table that we're about to create is going to hold all the products that each company has. Example, Johnson & Johnson has Lysol. They have, I don't know, okay, Procter & Gamble. They have Tide. They probably have Lysol. They have a ton of products, right? So using that metaphor, Procter & Gamble is going to be on Aquarius Arts, and all the products that they sell is going to be in table 1. All right? So you're going to now relate Aquarius Arts to table 1 by the name of the company. You guys see that? Okay. So let's see. Hit the create tab, table, home tab, click the view button. So we're going to go to the design view again. And call that Aquarius Arts products. So let's see. Enter, type product ID, and then enter the rest of the fields as shown in figure F1. This is figure F1 right here. This first one on the table. Does anyone not have the book? Hands if you don't have the book. You don't have the book. Oh God. Okay, so who has the book? Can somebody come and sit with him, please? Are you sure? Okay, so you have one and you have one. Can you guys please share your, if you're using a laptop, right? And you don't have a book, can you scoot over so you can see what since you work on it? And you I'm sorry? You're good. Olivia, you don't have one. Can you please come and sit with Jasmine? Thank you. Thank you guys. And you have a book, right? Appreciate it. Hands if you don't have a book or if you're not sharing a book. Okay. Okay, so first thing, it says enter product ID. Hit the down arrow. Hit the down, thank you so much. Hit the down arrow and enter everything like the way you see it on figure F1. So product name. Down, region, down, category, down, organization name, down, units and stock, down, unit price. So basically we're just trying to say for each company, what products do they have? And what's the product name? What region is this? So what part of the world is the product located? Considering it's arts, they don't all have to be sitting in the same part of the world, right? Or where is it from? What category is it? How many do you have in stock? And how many? How much does it cost? How much does it cost if I can spell? Okay. All right. So that's instruction number 4. Number 5, click the region data type. So this is the region data type right here, right? Go down to lookup wizard. What we're doing right now is the equivalent of what we do data validation in Excel. Remember Excel, we do data validation so we can have a drop down. Remember that? So this is the equivalent in Access. And then you say, I will type the values that I want. Next. So hit tab right here, this first column right there. We want to type out everything that we want to be on that list. So far as region, first thing is Central America. Down Africa, down Southeast Asia, and India. Next, what label would you like? Keep it to region, then hit finish. It shouldn't change, but when we're entering the data, you see like you'll be able to auto enter those things. All right. That's step number 5. Step number 6, right? We're going to do the same things. For category, hit the drop down, go down to lookup wizard. All right? I will type the values that I want. Next, for categories, everything like in figure F3, which is this one right here. And that is going to be household. Down arrow, jewelry, art, and then instrument. Next, and finish. All right. Then, now what we're going to do right now is, I don't know if you guys please look up. What we're going to do right now is we're going to connect the two tables. In 101, we did it the kind of the way that you do it originally, which is go and create relationships between the tables. Well, the faster way to do it is so you do the same lookup, but instead of looking up based on values, you look up based on a table. Remember the way we did it like on a list? You create a list in Excel, name it something, and then say equal to this list name, so that way you can do the drop down, right? Kind of like the same concept. So organization name, we're going to click the drop down, go down to lookup wizard, and then say I will look up the values. I want the lookup field from another table, this first option right here. Next, you want Aquarius Arts, right? The first one. Next.
Does it matter if arts is not the top?
It doesn't matter as long as you have both of them.
So Aquarius arts is
Yes, the first table. And then hit enter everything. Let's see. Actually, no, let me make sure. Click organization name data type list. Click next organization. Okay, so you want organization name here. All right. Hit the single arrow button. Organization name is what you want. Next. Next again. Next the last time. And finish. Table must be saved. Say yes. Okay. It's step number 8. Unit the data type for the units in stock. Call it number. Meaning that the only thing I want to see there is a number. And the unit price, call it currency. So the same way in Excel we'll do it like accounting. That's what you're doing. Alright. So hit close, which is like you right click right here. Close. It will tell you, do you want to save it? Please save it. If you double click here, you should just see all the names here. Right? And this new just means that that's the first thing. It won't let you type anything. Like, see, I'm going to try to type something into that first column. It won't let me because I told that's an auto number. Alright, so it's going to try to protect it. Okay, so I'm going to close this. Now what you want to do is go to database tools, and this is step number 9, right, by the way. Database tools and say relationships, which is I want to see the relationships between the tables. So remember that part where we said from organization name I want you to get the data from this table? Remember that part? This is what it's doing. Now you're going to click on this line. it should get bold as soon as you click on the line. Double click on it, on that line. So you guys are like, do I double click on the line? Yeah, so you should see that. Now, this should say organization name, right? And you should check enforce referential integrity. If you have done access before, do you remember what enforce referential integrity does? Okay, this makes sure that, so think of this as, remember you had these two things, these two tables here, right? Think of this as a parent table, and think of this as a child table, right? This is the parent source, the organization, you're pulling it from this parent table, right? Enforced referential integrity means do not let me enter a child that does not exist on the parent table. What does that mean? Don't let me, if I have a table of product of maybe like of 5 brands, Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, Unilever, McDonald's, 5 brands. Don't let me enter a product in the product table for a brand that does not exist in the parent table. Which is you're making sure you're enforcing that all the products have real parents. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's what I'm doing. And once you hit OK, you should see that this should go to no unique index found for the primary table. Oh, hold on. Organization ID. Okay. Make that ID actually. Let's see. What you should see 1 to infinity. Meaning that for every parent that exists here, it can exist many times. That just means that Procter & Gamble can have many products in here, right? But there can only be one Procter & Gamble here. That's all it means. Is that clear? Is anyone lost? Yes. So, yeah, so it should say ID to name. All right. Okay, and then you enforce referential integrity by checking this checkbox here. Then hit OK. And that just says for every parent, I want to see for each one parent that exists here, I want to be able to see, I should be able to see many of these parents, many of these kids here. If that makes sense. Parents and children. I don't know if that's a good metaphor. Is anybody lost? Okay, cool. Now we're going to the next page, which is page 142. And by the way, close the relationships. You should just see blank like this. Now we want to start entering data. In Excel, the way we remember to enter data is just what? Just start typing inside the form, right? Inside the data sheet. Here you can actually create a form that will make it look much nicer and organize it in such a way that you can enter data on 2 different tables at the same time. Okay, so we are going to click on the Aquarius Art Organization, which is this first one. Hit create, hit form, which is this one right here. We are creating a form. And then under themes, this one right here, Ion. Okay. And then under the view, click on the, let's say design. Click the, I know, but let's say press tab, form view. Okay, so you should be here. You should look like this. All right, form view. Okay, but do you guys see that I have this first table that I had here, which was the organization ID, organization name, email address. Then now it's going to let me on the same page enter all the products associated with that business. even though they're really on, the way it's saved at the back end is really on two different tables. You guys see that? Am I, is this
Right.
clear? Please say yes if it's clear.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Alright, so let's start. First things first, we're going to enter helping hands for the organization. And the email address is sales@helpinghands.com. Notice this is already underlined because we said this was type hyperlink. That's why it's doing that. Alright? What products belong to Helping Hands? When you go here, product new, it won't let you type anything, so just go to product name. For you to kind of enlarge everything, you can double click. You can go to the line here until it gets turned into this cross and double click. It'll push that open so you can see everything that is in there. Okay. So product name. First thing we're going to do ebony bowl. We're just typing out everything on this first place here. Right, so let's see. Ebony bowl. Have 15 bowl, blah 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 blah. Okay, so here, this first figure, that's what we're typing. Ebony bowl. And this is in Africa. As soon as you hit A, see how it auto populates? That's because we already gave it that drop down list. And also you can click the drop down here to select what you want. Alright. So Africa, it's a household. Just type H and tab. 15 and $150. Please try to make sure your numbers are correct, because at the end of the day we're going to have some totals that are going to be dependent on these numbers. So 15 and 150. So we have jade ring, Southeast Asia, just S and tab, J and tab jewelry, 8 and 55. Tab, talking drum. You can see that I have I just typed what do you call it? I just tabbed over the product ID because you don't need to type the name. Has anyone read the book Talking Drum? Oh wait, maybe read the book Talking Drum. You should be ashamed if you haven't read that book Talking Drum. Really? So this is a book that in Nigeria they kind of make you read in high school if you went to school in Nigeria. So I'm very ashamed of you because you went to school in Nigeria. Anyone else read the book Talking Drum? It's a really good book. Okay. Africa, of course. Instrument, it's really a book. 768. Number 4 is hand pipes. Central Africa, C and tab. Instrument I 25 and 80. Fifth one, Aztec, which is AZ. Mask. This is from Central America. This is art. This is 5. And this is 125. Okay, so now we're done. We're entering 5 records. The next thing that you do, if you want to go to the next, if you want to enter the next organization, remember what we're doing right now, we're entering all the products that are associated with Helping Hands, alright? If you want to go to the next organization, you're going to click here, which is new record. Bottom here. And that should take the whole, that should take it to the whole, like a whole new organization. Next organization is going to be, and this is step number 5 on page 142. It's going to be Caring Circles. Email is sales@caringcircles.com. Then now we're going to enter the products. The products are everything you see in figure F6, this second table right here. And this first one is the car diner set, and this is in Africa. It's a household item. Number 5, it's $80. Next one, hippo. So do you notice that when we came here, product ID says 6, even though this is the first thing we're entering.
Right.
You know why that is doing that? Because
Continuation.
it's continuing of this original table, but it's just blank because we're entering it for a new company. Does that make sense? Okay. Hippo carving. Africa art, $15 and $90. Jaguar carving. Central America art, $9 and $150. Last one is teak bowl. Central America household, $12 and $90. Then we're going to enter a new record, which is all the way at the bottom here. New organization name. This is step number 7. Company is Global Sustainability. Email address is sales@globalsustainability.com. Now we're going to enter the products as shown in figure F7, this third table down here. First one is woven tapestry. It's in Africa. It's in Central America. It's art. Central America art. 20 items and it's $200. I think. Next one is turquoise pendant. Turquoise pendant. Central America. It's a piece of jewelry. We have 8 of them. And it's $30. Blue topaz pendant. Topaz pendant. That should be a piece of jewelry in Southeast Asia. We have 7 of them and it costs $300. Fourth one is Balinese belts. Is that BL or is it? I think it's BALI. What do you guys think? Culturally, can anyone tell me what that is? Someone from Southeast Asia. Let's see. Who's from Southeast Asia? Nisi?
I have no idea.
Who else is someone from Southeast Asia? Come on, guys. All right. Let's call it Balinese. If you're from Southeast Asia, you know what I'm talking about, and I'm spelling this wrong. I'm sorry. This is the book's fault. All right. Southeast Asia instrument, 15, and this is $100. Number 14 is a cane basket. This should be from India. It's a household item. 18, 12. Are you from Southeast Asia? No, right? You. Is India? I'm so sorry. I'm terrible at geography. Is South? Okay. Just make sure I didn't make this a gross overestimate. So number 15, elephant wall hanger. This is India. It's a household item. It's 9, and it's $25. Okay. So now we are going to right click and close it. It's going to say, do you want to save? Please save everything. The form name, call the form name, double click. Let's see, close it. Yes, to save changes. Okay.
What do you want to save it?
Save it as whatever is there. Aquarius Arts. Okay, you guys good? I am proud of you guys. You guys are keeping up. Cool. So let's see. Now let's expand this table. Remember this table right here? There was nothing in there originally. And based on the form, let's just like, if you double click on this, it should open everything out. I want to open it so you guys can see. Close it. Close everything you have open and then reopen it. Maybe you had it open originally before you started to do the forms. Okay, so you should see this. Now, if you hit the drop down right here, do you see this plus sign here? Even though this is an Excel thing, do you see how it automatically links it to this other table there and pulls up the information? This feature is actually new in the 2013 version, I think. It never, yeah, the world was rough when I started to use Access. But this is pretty cool. And if you click here, you should see all the 15 products that you typed in. Organization name, you see how automatically it pulled. You didn't remember you didn't type this into the table, the product ID table, but it automatically pulled it because of the relationships that you set. Is this clear in English so far? Everything has to make sense in English, guys. If it doesn't, we're just wasting our time. I'm hoping that at the end of the day, what you guys learn from this, you guys can apply it to if you want to save like a ton of information that are related to each other. I really hope that you can apply it. But I don't think that we know enough about Access as a class generally for me to be able to let you go and run into the wilds doing this yourself. I don't think so, right? Okay, so let's see, double click, blah, 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 click the plus sign, close both tables. So this is the end of page 142. So basically what we just did right now was class 1 and class 2.
So it's saying, asking me, do I want to save the changes? Yes.
Yeah, save all changes and and then undo it if you hate it, but don't click no and then lose everything you just typed, alright? Alright, so do you want to save changes? Yes. I always like to save my changes. So okay. So now we're going to page 144, which is what we're going to create queries. Queries is just another way of asking questions to the database. We're going to ask it questions and it's going to give us results. Okay. And then we have the reports. Okay. So on here, click Create Query Wizard. This one here. I know what a wizard, right? A wizard is just that guy who has a one. No, a wizard is the guided thing that helps you kind of get through creating it without actually doing the hard labor. That's what it is. It just asks you a bunch of questions and does it for you. So the wizard. You want a simple query wizard. This first one here. Don't ask me what the others do because it's going to take the whole class to explain them, right? So let's just keep it as a simple one. Okay. What do you want? You want verify table Aquarius Arts products is what is there, which is what it is, right? Click select all. So here. Click next. Click next to accept the detail query, right? Which is the detail. Click next. Call this Africa household. Okay. Then hit modify the query. Can anybody guess what we want to ask Access to give us based on the name, what I'm naming this? Just a wild guess. Yeah, give me all the household items that are from Africa. That's the question we want to ask it. All right. So, finish. It should look something like this. Now we want to give it the criteria. So, under region right here, go down here, criteria, type Africa. Alright? That drop down is going to pop up. Don't touch that drop down. This is the one time I'm going to tell you to run away from a drop down as quickly as possible. Just type Africa and leave it there. Alright. And then under category, type household. Alright. And then right here, hit run it. Just hit run. You should see two things. And that should be ebony bowl. Notice that ebony bowl is from Africa and it's a household category. Those are the only two things that fit into that thing. What you just did. Does anybody know how to write MySQL code? Has anybody ever written MySQL code? Okay. This is what you just did, SQL view. This is the code you just did. But again, I learned to write it like this before somebody was like, here's the light. You can actually click buttons and it works. You know, but this is really what you just did. But Access makes it very easy to do it. Cool. Alright, so let's go back to datasheet view. Now, I'm going to, hit right click. Please save it. Then close it. Always save it. Okay, so we're going to the next one. We're going to do create query wizard again. This is step number 6 on page 144. Make sure you have simple, that's fine. Aquarius Arts products. Add everything. Next. Detail. So you want to say call this items to order. And I'll tell you what this means. So you have all these products, right? And you have the number in stock. Remember when you were entering the products, you said how many units do I have in stock, right? So now you want to know how many additional do you need to order. Just think of it that way. How many additional products do I need to order? Now, assuming you want to always have 10, at least 10 on hand, hypothetically speaking, which this book is going to make you want to do. Assuming you always want to have 10 on hand, the items to order is, let's say you have 8 in stock. What's the item? How many do you need to order? Assuming you have 8 in stock and you need to always have 10 on your hand, you need to order 2, right? So it's going to be 10 minus whatever you have today. That's going to be what you need to order for everything. Okay, so items to order, and modify the query design and hit finish. It's going to look very similar to the first one that you did. Okay, please make sure that you are be very sensitive to your cases, because now we're actually entering formulas. Okay, so click the units in stock, which is number 7. I'm sorry, this is step number 7. Click the units in stock criteria cell, which is here, and type less than 10. I'm just saying, show me everything that is that I have less than 10 of them in stock. That's the first thing I'm asking. Hit run. See, this is only the ones that have less than 10 in stock. Alright? So now, click the view button, which is right here. Click in the blank cell to the right of unit price, which is here. Right there. Alright? Now, click on Builder. Builder is up here. Builder is up there. So basically what you want to do, you want to type out the formula of what you want to calculate, because under normal circumstances you can just click a drop down and enter like a column name, but we want to actually create a column that is calculated based on the other information, right? So that's why I want to use Builder for it. So leave it the blank, hit Builder. Builder comes up with this blank, nice looking table, right? What do you want to see? Type units to order. which is going to be the column name, units to order. How many do you need to order? Remember we said it's going to be 10 minus whatever you have, right? So that is going to be, open parentheses, 10 minus, it's going to be what is it? Units in stock, right? So open the square bracket. Square bracket just means I want you to check in this column name. This is just not me typing random text. So once you type U, you should see the unit in stock. Now please click the unit in stock drop down. Right? It should close the square bracket and then close the parentheses. It should look like that. You're just telling it that now, you're telling it, create a column named units to order and calculate the value based on 10 minus the number of units you had in stock. That's what it is. Alright? Do one more. Click the blank cell right next to units to order. Click on builder again up here. Type total, which is how much is it going to cost you to order it, right? What is it going to cost you to order it? Remember, you just created units to order. So it's going to be open square brackets, units. Just type in units to order. Type it exactly how you typed it the first time. Remember, we haven't saved this yet, so it's not going to be in the drop down. Units to order, close square brackets, multiplied by the unit price. Remember, we already had the unit price entered on the table. So we're saying, how many do we need to order? Multiplied by how much each of them costs. That's how much you need to spend to order more. So open square brackets, unit cost or unit price, and that's it. Okay. Hit run.
You said after unit square price, it close the brackets. Do I need a parentheses?
No.
No, just okay.
You should just have two square brackets. You shouldn't have any parentheses. Okay, then run. It should look like this. Your units in stock, you see 8. You see now how you have units to order?
Mine didn't, it didn't have, when I hit run.
I'll swing by you in a second.
When I hit run, it came up units to order.
Okay, I'll swing by you in a second, alright? So here you see this is 10 minus 7, 10 minus 5. 10, do you see that? How they calculated it? And then it multiplied 2 by 55 to get the total. You want to see the code version of what you just did? Just for kicks. If you're a programmer, this is the code that you would have written to get there, to get those results. Yeah, and as if you like screw up, you see how you have like 4 parentheses here? If you miss one, your entire code is broken. Yeah, so drop downs and things that you have to click are nice. I'm sorry?
I have only 2 helping hands.
Okay. So you should have product ID 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 11, 12, 15.
Yeah, I don't have.
If you don't have all those, something is wrong. Alright, Mrs. Celeste, you needed help first. Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. And I'll come back to you.
That's not right.
Units in stock. Is that what you call the units in
Yeah,
stock?
yes.
Okay. Okay. Unit C. Associated computer.
Oh, yeah.
Units to order. And unit price. Okay. Is anyone else off?
Thank you.
I'm here.
Alright, I'll come back to you.
Okay. I only have
2, 5, 6.
those are 3.
You don't have 3. Why don't you have 3? Let me look at your original table. 3. That's what you did. Units and stock. You can't have 25. What is this one? Touch number 3. So you're in 37.
No.
So now
Okay, I don't have to say it.
Good. Okay. Make the columns as wide as you need to make them so you can see. Just double click on whatever so that way you can see everything. All right. And then that is step number 10. Now we're on the last page, 146. I think that the homework next on Wednesday is similar to this, to just kind of reinforces skills. So I'm really hoping that on Wednesday we can actually spend more time talking about what you're doing and why you're doing it, instead of just like flying through everything. Because I think that I really hate the life of just giving you instructions without you actually know how to use it in real life. That's just a waste, in my opinion. All right. So now click on the items to order, which is this query right here. It says click, then hit create, click report, which is right here. So you see how you just see all of this right here. This is a report of everything in that items to order.
I shouldn't have double clicked on items to order.
Just click it. Okay. So we're going to do, so we're in the reports now. In this group right here, hit group and sort. Hold on.
Is it report design or report? Oh, no.
Just do reports.
Okay.
And hit the button group and sort. Once you touch that button, you should see these two things should come up down here. Now we're gonna hit add a group. Then click organization name. Do you guys see what happened? You group and sort. Add a group at the bottom. Organization name. You see how this appeared now at this side to show you the organization names, because you're creating a report that you want to print out. That's what you're really doing. Okay. We're gonna double click in the header area. After order, type your name. Double click here. Dash Judith. Type your name. This is how I know that you did it. Everyone is like typing frantically. Click on the date and delete it. Click on the time and delete it. Nobody really cares about this. Okay. Scroll right. Select the $625, which is this one. Click totals right here. If you hit totals, go down to sum and see what happens. You see how the sum of each came up down here? See the sum of each one, and then at the end of the day, to give you a grand total. For you to see it, just make it bigger. And once you adjust one, it adjusts everything in that same category, so you don't need to do it multiple times. Do the same thing for 2,400 and whatever, which is the grand total. I'm sorry? You get, yeah, sure. So, how do you make it a dollar sign? There's no currency thing, like Excel. So, you right click on 939. Go all the way down to properties. Then this really ugly thing pops up with like, with like lots of options. I really hate things like this. But, go to format. There's a drop down right there. Go down to currency. Like we can use more options, right? Currency. And if you notice, just go here. You see how this is already adjusted. All the numbers in this category, 550, 985, already adjusted. Do the exact same thing to the 2,700, 474. Call the format currency. Are you guys cool? Let's see. Hit this $883 because this is the sum of all the unit prices. That really doesn't mean anything to you, right? So hit delete. on the $833. Um, $833, yes, because that's the total of all the unit prices. You don't really care about that. You only care about the total of everything you're ordering. Hands if you have questions. Okay. Whew, okay, so click the empty text box. Click solid next to grid lines. It says next to grid line. Where is this? You know what? Forget that. I don't even care about instruction. That is like a very stupid instruction. So forget that one. Okay, so scroll up. You can close this, by the way. Hit product ID, which is here. You don't really need to see the product ID, right? So just do, how do you kill that? Report tools layout, which is right here. And arrange. Then hit, yeah, under arrange. Click select column. And then hit delete. That should kill the product ID. Control Z. Okay. So hit click product ID, like here. Go to under this arrange tab. Select column. Delete. Okay. Then go to the page setup, which is this place. Okay. Page setup, make it landscape. So when you print it out, it's supposed to be landscape. Yeah.
When I was closing the formatting thing,
Mm-hmm.
report,
Mm-hmm.
you should do like that.
Just close it.
Close it.
Right click.
Okay.
Yeah, close.
Oh,
I have a quick question. My totals look backwards. So like this one looks like it should be going in. See how the total for this is up here?
What'd you do?
I think, oh yeah. I think when I tried to adjust it, it just do it.
It looks good now, right?
Right, but see how you can't see, so I think when I tried to adjust it, I think I clicked on this box instead of,
It matters. The only way to fix it, just leave it. Your report for. Go back to the original table. But look at the number that is off. So you have scroll all the way to the end. So you have 939. You have 550. You have 60. No, you have 1009 instead of. So you have one more thing that should not be there. What does she have? Oh no, what does she have? You have blue and turquoise. So you shouldn't have cane. That means that your cane.
oh, mine hasn't saved yet.
Yeah. Under your products, right? For cane. That means you enter cane wrong. So it says you have 8. Shouldn't we have 8? 18. So now you save that. Now we run.
thank you.
So the way it works, the point is that make sure your data is correct. If you make sure your data is correct, everything like a form, the reports, everything is just click it and to rerun everything from scratch. That's why it's code. It's not just you creating it once and then saving it like that. No, every time you click, double click on it, it reruns the code and generates it from scratch. Okay. So we did. Are you okay? Did I help you? Okay. So we call that page layout. Then click helping hands, right? And reduce the width so that way it fits this global sustainability. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes the instructions are, in my opinion, really stupid. Yeah. So basically try to adjust the columns so that way they're closer. Because you pretty much want it to fit in one page. If you go all the way to the end, this is the one page mark right here. This broken line. So you want to kind of make them small enough that everything fits in one page. So we're just going to adjust all the columns. Category. And if you look, everything should be like in one page. If it isn't, just make it a little smaller. Now it's in one page. So double click the unit stock field name box, right? Rename it to just stock. So delete everything else but stock. And then the units to order, change that to just order. Then hit on home, view, go to print preview because the report is what you generally print out. And it should look like this. If it doesn't look like something went wrong, if it doesn't look like this, yes. You can't make any changes. Is that it?
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Yep, just turn that in.
What do you turn it in on? That?
Turn it under the,
So I can do it over
on
here.
Blackboard, to say inventory.
Where?
You can say inventory. Are you turning it in now? Are you being fancy turning your homework at the end of class?
I don't want you to mess up anything.
It's my first time.
He's like,
I would go to
he's like,
home.
yeah.
And then maybe
okay, so
try
now
and
it looks
shrink
more like
it,
it, right?
like, go here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you still
So now you want to do like all
How
the,
far?
Yeah.
I know.
I don't wanna.
then over here, we'll do, everything should fit on one page in your report. If it doesn't fit,
I need help.
are you looking for the print preview?
Yeah.
So go to home?
I want.
Go to home, again, click on the drop down.
And then to the house one.
So,
Send it the print reviews.
yeah, so look at, see the layout. Alright, so click on the individual. I'm still at click. So just want to click on the number, click on the properties, then format, make it print.
For the print review.
But you do save it like.
Changes to stock, changes to this order, and changes this. That's it. What is due today, guys? It is, Nancy, what is due today? No, what is due today? You guys do it that early that you don't know the day? Really? Like you,
Yeah.
usually you guys are like frantically doing it on Monday night. They don't mess with that no more.
I'm trying to save it.
It's something. What is it?
It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
sales forecast.
Sales
Forecast and sales report.
Sales report.
And sales.
Which one has the bikes? No, forecast is solver, right? Yes, it's,
The forecast was the one we did on Wednesday.
The sales report was the one with the Word document that we copied and pasted.
which was the one with the bikes are the forecast. The backs are the ones that we did, this is the report. Well, no, the one that we did solver for. Remember the solver tool?
That's the
Forecast.
forecast.
Yeah. I was like, you guys forgot solver already?
So can I say,
Go ahead.
No, the walk to Europe was the sales report.
Yes. And that one had the Word document as well. So you're turning in 2 documents for that one. Yes.
Quick question, I'm trying to save this on my flash drive so I can submit it.
I'll just submit it now.
Right, but I tried to save it,
It's not doing it.
when I did that, that's
Yeah.
what comes up.
That's okay.
Okay. So, I can.
Now hit save again. But she wants to read this and try to pay.
Yeah. So just hit file.
That's what I did too.
Okay, so now I can put it on
Yeah.
my,
Question.
yeah, I need documentation.
You're like, I need proof.
Yes.
All
But
right.
it's not,
That's business inventory.
This is business inventory. Yeah, so this was supposed to be your business inventory originally. And I was like, I wonder if people all did one-on-one and they know how to do that. So I guess they have to.
I think I took one of them, what, two.
Do you take one-on-one with me?
No, I took it in my, year in college.
so, I just don't know.
You can do it again. It was easy, right?